All right, last video for this section. This is the change of base formula. The change of base formula says that if you have log base b of x, you can change that into log base c of x over log base c of b, where c is any valid base to use for a logarithm. In other words, c can be anything other than what has to be positive, and it can't be 1. So the thing is, this lets us do logarithms using our calculator, because it says you can use any value of c, but the ones that are useful, of course, are c is 10 or c is e. That way you can use the log buttons on your calculator. So let's do this. Log base 3 of 30. We're just going to use the calculator to do this. I could do this as log of 30 over log of 3. And when I do that, and you have to be careful with your parentheses here. Log of 30 divided by log of 3. This gives me 3.0959. And it keeps going. Now, I did that with log, but if I did it with ln, it would work just as well. I'm going to try to show this. So we can do it with log or natural log, and they both give us the same number. So use whichever one you want. Now, technically, you could use any other number for your base, as long as it's a positive number that's not 1. But typically, this is used with a calculator, so you want to use log or ln. Okay, natural log of 30, or not natural log of 30, log base 2 of 30. Now, we can just plow through this on the calculator. ln of 30 over ln of 2. Now, before we do that, though, let's think about this for a second, just mentally. I know 2 to the 5th is equal to 32, and 2 to the 4th is 16. So that means that when I do this on my calculator, ln of 30 over ln 2, I'm going to expect this to be, it's going to be less than 5, but it's going to be closer to 5 than 4. So I'm expecting a number like 4.8, 4.9, somewhere in there. ln of 30 divided by ln of 2. Yeah, 4.9068, blah, blah, blah. All right, so that's all there is to using the change of base formula. But let's use this to solve a few equations. This is kind of previewing what we're going to do in another couple of sections. But let's say we want to solve this. 8 to the x equals 8,192. There are two ways you could think about this. This is written in exponential form. If we rewrite it in logarithmic form, we would say log base 8 of 8,192 is equal to x. That's one way you can think about doing this, is just rewriting it. And we could solve it from here. Another way of doing this, though, is you could take the base 8 log of both sides. If I take the base 8 log, I'll do this down here. If I did log base 8 of 8 to the x equals log base 8 of 8192, that leads me to the same place, because this right here gives me x is equal to log base 8 of 8192. All right, so let's use the calculator to do this. ln of 8192 over ln of 8 gives me 4.3. It's 4.3 repeating, so I'll put that bar over it. So we get that. All right, let's do one more. And I'm going to dispense with rewriting it. This right here, let's take the base 3 log of both sides of this equation. I'm just going to come down here to do it. Log base 3 of 3 to the 2x plus 1 equals log base 3 of 1,000. All right, this side over here just turns into 2x plus 1. This over here is log base 3 of 1,000. I'm going to write that as, tell you what, let's write it as log 1,000 over log 3. I could use natural log or regular or common log here. I'm using common log because log of 1,000 is 3. So I get 2x equals 3 over log 3 minus 1, where x is 1/2. Tell you what, instead of writing it as 1/2, let's write it as 3 over 2 log 3 minus 1. And this is the exact answer. Of course, it's kind of useless. I mean, if you want the answer to this, you want x equals some number. So let's evaluate this. Now, a couple of ways to do it. I could just put in 3 divided by parentheses 2 log 3 minus 1. See, I need to be careful. The 2 log 3 is the denominator. Then minus 1 on the end. So I get 2.14385 ... Another thing I could have done is I could have just evaluated the log up here and then subtracted 1 from it and divided by 2. But at any rate, either way you do it, this is how you get the solution. So in another section, it's either the next one or 2 sections from now, we're going to look at how to solve logarithmic equations. And we've really already kind of seen a bit of that, but we're going to look at more stuff, solving equations involving logarithms. So that's it for this section.